probably test it really quick. I got just 2 minutes. I might go to my YouTube channel just to see. And I've never tried to do both at the same time. YouTube
and Facebook?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll allow me to do that or not. Yeah, okay, so YouTube is working.
Oh, I see it live, yeah.
Yep. Now, let me see. If I really get daring here, maybe I could do it on Facebook live at the same time. Let me see. Stop streaming. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's not even giving me the option now to be on Facebook. It looks like they let you do one or the other.
Oh, either Facebook or YouTube, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Because the only other thing to do is stop streaming. Yeah, it doesn't have it. Okay, I didn't advertise that I was going to do it on Facebook anyway, but I thought I would at least try that.
So because it's live on YouTube, after this is done, is the recording on YouTube and someone can go look at it and see it?
Yeah, sometimes I edit it if it doesn't is it real bad, but yeah, it should be probably within just a few minutes on my YouTube channel, and I'll announce that as well. We get some people in here. So I'm just trying to figure out now. Now that that's on YouTube, okay, got that. Now what about? Okay, there we go. What are you seeing right now?
I see. Thanks for joining us. We will be starting shortly.
Is that on full screen?
Yes.
Okay, and then let me know, does it change? I'm going to see if I can, I always have trouble with this in PowerPoint with Zoom. Now did it just switch to recorded version of this property tour be available?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it is. Because I'm going to start out doing, going through a PowerPoint, and then I'll start with the video of the walkthrough of the property.
All right.
And it is 7 o'clock. I may give just a couple minutes, but.
Bob has put the link for yours in the chat on Pat McCrimmon's.
Oh, that was nice of him. Oh my lights just dimmed down, like almost like it was a power outage.
I saw that.
Dimmed way down. Now it's still not all that bright, but it's not bad. Yeah, that would be bad, I guess. Be doing it in the dark, but I guess you don't really need to see me anyway once I start the video and the slide presentation.
You're creating the ambiance and intrigue.
That's right. That's right. All right. We'll probably have, I would imagine, once Pat gets finished, I'll have a bunch of people jumping on here.
Okay. It's still going right now. I have 2 laptops right now going.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can see the other one right now.
Hey, he's cutting into my time.
Uh-oh. I should tell Bob. Randy said you're cutting into his time. He's wrapping it up now.
All right, good. Because we're going to have a bunch of people jumping over. How many people did Pat have on his? Do you know?
He's got 16 now, and I don't know if that was the total, before that, but that's what it is right now.
Okay. Right.
And I was on the other one too at the 5 o'clock for Franklin Peterson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many did they have?
Ooh, I was driving home, so I wasn't.
Oh, okay. I was
listening.
Just curious.
Yeah. Here they come.
Yeah, they're starting to jump over now.
Yeah, let me exit out of the other one. Oh, it's over now, so here they come.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and you can start letting them.
Yep, they're coming in right now.
Yeah, I see 3 people waiting, 4 people waiting. Yep. Okay, maybe I'll wait just a couple more minutes then.
Okay.
Get a bunch of people jumping over.
Oh, here's some more. Here comes Bob.
Hey, Bob Kearney waiting. All right, so it's official, right? When Bob jumps over. Nobody
Exactly.
else is on the other one. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. This is being simulcast onto my YouTube channel. And if all goes well, there'll be a recording of that. If you don't want your voice or likeness to be shown on YouTube, then I would suggest that you don't ask questions speaking, but you can still put it into chat. And I'll try to remember towards the end. I'll give you different times where you can come in and ask questions, as well as I'll try to check the chat periodically to make sure that I'm answering everyone's questions there. So this is the information. If you do want to watch it, recorded version of this on YouTube, just go to youtube.com/Randy Pertler. And I'd love you to show me some love and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way, every time I post a new video, if you click the little bell alert icon, you'll get a notification of that. So there's quite a bit of training. There's a lot of property tours. In fact, there's a property tour of this house in different stages. So you can kind of see the progression, the before, the during pictures, and then the after now. Just a brief introduction. I know quite a few people on the line already know me, so I don't want to spend too much time with this, but there are some new faces or names out there I'm seeing. I was a teacher and coach when I first got out of college, and then I became, first went into educational publishing, worked really hard, became the vice president of sales of the divisions of 3 different publishing companies. But 3 times in my career, my position was eliminated. I've seen it all. There was one time when we were bought by another company. They only needed 1 VP of sales. Another time, 2 companies, 2 divisions merged together. Again, they only needed 1 VP of sales. And also, as part of kind of a major downsize in one of the companies that I was with, 300 people lost their job at the same day, including myself, support staff to me, and as well as some managers that reported to me. So if you're out there and you love your job, that's great. But as Bob Tierney, who's on the line, has taught well, says that job security is an oxymoron, and that's absolutely correct. If it's a job, by definition, it's not secure because somebody else is making the call whether or not you're working the next day. So even if you love your job, my message to you is, find something else that you can fall back on, or do something part-time, and then something that you love could turn into a full-time career. So I don't know exactly how many real estate deals I've done. I don't count. I would say it's over 100. I just thank God and praise God for every one of those deals, because I've learned something in every one of those deals. I'm currently doing multiple flips, rehab and flips. This one started out as a rehab and flip, and it actually might still be a flip, and I'll explain at the end kind of why. But currently it's a short-term rental, and it's having some phenomenal success, but there's some challenges with that. And I'll talk about that as well. I'm also a licensed broker, and I'm building a national brokerage team. So I've started that about a year ago. I have the YouTube channel. Again, it's just youtube.com/Randy Pertler. There's a lot of information about these property tours. Previous property tours are there for you to take a look at. And I'm a deacon at my church. I have a couple of children. I've got my email address down there. If you want to get in touch with me, there's my email address, and also my personal cell phone number. And I ask people, please give me some personal time here. I want to have a life, even though I work most of the time. As you can see, 12 hours a day, I'm available Monday through Saturday. Sunday's my Lord's Day, so I prefer no business or calls on Sunday. So with that introduction, let's get on to it here. So when I first got started in real estate, one of the first things I did was write a mission statement, which I would encourage you to do. If you're familiar with the Renatus education, you'll know that there's a class by Jay Massey called Real Estate Investor ID. And this is kind of along those same lines. It's not just about real estate investing ID, but also what my beliefs were, also in terms of education and the Renatus system and supporting others. I don't expect you to read all that, but I will say that these 3 verses summarize them up pretty well. And this is a guide for my business and my life. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. And the last one, as you become successful, we always talk about giving back to the community. As you become successful, think about this. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So those are kind of at the core of my business model and my mission statement. So the house we're going to talk about is a house that I have in Frankfurt. The reason we're not actually live in Frankfurt I'm in Frankfurt, but not at that house. The reason I'm not at that house right now is pretty simple. There's someone running it out at this moment. I checked them in today. I put this house up on Airbnb. I started advertising it on May 31st, Memorial Day. I didn't accept any renters, any bookings until the 11th. That weekend, I had a engagement party for my son him and his fiance flew in from LA. So we were testing the house. We wanted to check it out and, make sure that everything was working properly for our guests when they came in. So I did not book I would not allow anybody to book the first reservation until last Friday, a week ago today. And since then, when I allowed the bookings to happen, that was, I believe, the 11th. So yes, the 11th. So my property was booked that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I had to block it off because I was going out of town for the day. Someone tried to, they tried to book it, but I blocked it out. And then it was rented Wednesday, Thursday, today, Friday, someone's checking in for Friday and Saturday. Now it's about not booked Sunday yet, but that was 9 out of 10 days of the first 10 days that it was available. It was booked. That's averaged about $1,000 a night. So we'll go more into the Airbnb portion of that a little bit later, but I want to show you because it started out as a flip and I probably will still flip it. But I want to show some before pictures here. Then when I do the walkthrough video, you'll see kind of after, and I've also got some after pictures here as well. I would not call this a gut rehab just because we did not take it down to the studs, but we really took this property and changed basically every room. I try to keep as many things as possible. When we go through this, I'll kind of show you what we changed and what we didn't. Oh, I've got the numbers because I know someone's going to ask me. So this was a foreclosure. It was vacant for quite a while. And we first made an offer for about 160, 162. It was turned down. And we thought we had lost the deal. And then a couple months later, they changed asset managers. And a couple months later, it was back on the market. We ended up getting it for 162, like 20,000 less than what we had offered earlier. And the rehab and holding costs, that's probably a little high, but we're still kind of holding it, even though now it's more than covered by the Airbnb. But I am putting in new sliding doors, windows into the pool area. So there's going to be some additional expense that is on order now. But let's say all in, we're at 180 with holding costs and rehab. So we did have the property we did have the property refinanced. And the reason we call it refinanced is because I had this funded through private lenders. So it wasn't my money putting it in. It wasn't my credit. It was learning how to do that, set up private lenders. So we had private lenders funding the project, and I was paying them some pretty good interest rates. It varies. I kind of hate to say, I don't want to disclose probably because I don't want somebody to say, oh, Randy, I want to be your private money lender and I expect that same interest rate, because it could go up and down. And I also, if you have a guest on the line, I don't want you to say, well, you better give me a higher interest rate because Randy does. All right. So I'll just let it go there. But normally a private lender, you're probably going to pay maybe a little bit more than what you could get from the bank. And you want, that's still a good deal for me because you don't have to go through the whole credit thing. Plus you can do multiple properties. I've done as many as 9 rehabs at once. So private money lenders and equity partners, really there's no limit. It's just based on your performance. So it appraised at 480. So if you add up what 142.5 and 180, so that's what 323, something like that. 323 and 480. So you've got a spread there of about 160. But you know, there'll be closing costs and there'll be marketing costs and so forth. But you know, probably 140 profit on it as a flip. So those are the numbers on it. Now, let me show you just a few before and after pictures. And some of the after pictures aren't real recent, but they're fairly recent. I got the most recent ones. A lot of times I forget to get the before pictures. I can always take a lot of after pictures, but that's one thing I kind of forget. I get into a project, we're excited about it, we're getting people, getting work done, tearing out walls and stuff, like, oh man, I got to get some before pictures. So the before pictures are not many of them, but I do have a few. There's the front of the house. By the way, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with an indoor swimming pool. So you'll see in pictures this area right here that kind of looks like a garage that's sticking out. That's actually where the indoor swimming pool is. And you'll see some pictures, and we'll do a walkthrough of that. This is when you first walk in, you're kind of in a foyer area. You can see before and after pictures. Those are actually the same floors, except when we bought it, there was some warping and some damage right in this area here, like in front of where that furniture is to the left, in the left-hand picture. So we had to replace some of the flooring, but otherwise it's varnished and stained. Absolutely, it's sanded, stained, and varnished to get to that result. Here's the kitchen. We knocked out this wall right here and extended the island. You can see in my walkthrough in my video, you'll see that there's actually a sliding glass door there. We made it smaller because I wanted to build in a pantry and make this whole thing. Like right now, this is where the kitchen table would be. Since I knocked that down, now they can eat here. We can extend this island and really kind of make that kitchen much bigger. The kitchen probably feels twice as big, or in fact, square footage now from there all the way to there. It almost is twice as big now with just a redesign and opening up that wall, allowing them to eat at the bar. Here's the common bathroom, one of the bathrooms in the upstairs. This is a Whirlpool tub here. And what we did is this cabinet, you can buy the same material or the same finish pieces, sections that you can use for fillers and so forth. So I bought a piece of that cabinet and put it over here because it was missing. So this was a Whirlpool, but this was, I don't know what they had. It might've been drywalled or something over the years, but it was all open. So I matched it with this vanity. So it looks exactly the same. It looks like it's always been there, like it was designed together. You can see this tile on the wall was there before, but they had this green. Actually, I really think it's blue. In the pictures, it certainly looks green, but I think it was blue paint. Can you imagine that with that color tile? It just looked terrible. So just matching and making the right decision on tile color was important. This is the master bedroom. I'm going to go through this kind of quick because you're going to see a walkthrough, and then I'm going to open it up for questions as I do the walkthrough video. Here's the common bathroom on the main floor. Here's what we call the fireplace room. This is the same wood, just painted. That's actually the same floor. Here's the pool. I've got a good walkthrough for that. So this is why on Airbnb they're going nuts. In case I forget to tell you this, you know, like I say, it's only been on Airbnb advertised there for what is it, 18 days now. And the last I looked, it had over 4,000 views. I mean, you're going to book a lot of business if you're getting that much attention. So it's got 4,000 views already. Okay, let me now go through the walkthrough, and then I'm going to stop, and we're going to let's do the stop the share. Let me now reshare. Hopefully I can find the video on here called up. There it is. And I'm going to stop this video probably when we get through the kitchen. Stop. We'll pause there. We'll answer questions. I want to make sure that that the sound is on. Let's see, share sound. Used to say from computer, but I'm going to first do this. And LaShawn, if you can if you can just say yes or no, whether or not you can hear the sound, okay?
All right, come on in.
All right.
Whoops, it may at least turn it up. That might help too. Okay, was the sound on?
It's kind of low.
So this is the foyer area.
Yeah, it's low.
We really,
That's as high as it's going. So on your
Okay.
end, you might have to turn your computer speaker up a little bit, but that's
All
as
right.
high. Over here. All right, here we go.
tile down here, if you notice that was original. We did not have to change that tile. We try to keep as many things as we can as possible. So this whole door though is new. And we're setting it up primarily, like I say, to flip, but now we're concerned with the whole short-term rental. So come on up here. These are hardwood floors. We redid the hardwood floors here. This is a light that I call a wow factor. So we try to do some pretty cool things. And what I call a wow factor is when someone walks through the house and they're maybe walked through 3 houses that day, the husband and wife at the end of the day are talking about what house they want. They say, well, yeah, remember the one that's got that really cool chandelier when you first walk in? That's a wow factor, because when they come in, they say, wow, look at that light. And then they remember it when they're thinking about all the other features of all the other houses. So these are beautiful hardwood floors. We put in new can lights, recessed lights that are dimmable. And since this is an Airbnb in short-term rental, all of these couches are fold-out couches. So actually it sleeps as many as 20 people. Because of the neighbor complaints and noise, we're not gonna have 20 people in here anymore, but it will sleep that many. So that's a fold-out bed, that folds into a bed, that together could be, you know, for a young person. Oh, we've got all this, you can see decorated. There's 7 TVs, so there's 7 flat screen TVs, 1 in each of the 4 bedrooms. And there's 1 here, 1 in what we call the fireplace room, and 1 in the basement. So continue on here. I'll show you. This is kind of cool. Those lights were in that position before. There used to be a kind of like what do you call it, a buffet or drawers there. We took those out. It was kind of old fashioned. That was all glass. That was mirrors on that wall. We took that out, and I put a painting or a picture underneath each one, so it kind of is as kind of an art area there. Then as we go over here, you can see we've got the matching light fixtures, trying to do something very modern. Light fixtures match there as well as here. And then we'll go into the kitchen. We've got, let me turn these on over here, the island. So you can see all of those match. There's another one over here. So they all match throughout. And there was a wall right here. This was a very traditional closed off kitchen with a small doorway. We opened this up, took down the half wall, extended it so it could be used as a bar so they could sit here and eat. The original design had a kitchen table over here. None of this was here. This was just a wall. And the kitchen table was maybe about right here. The island ended right here. And so when I opened that up, in order to give an eat-in kitchen feature, I was able then to take this space away and do the pantry over here. This is black stainless steel, which is kind of one of the newer things. It's also fingerprint proof. Usually in regular stainless steel, you go like this and you've got fingerprints that you're dealing with all the time. This you don't. You've got the same type of black stainless steel dishwasher, very modern. It looks out onto the golf course. This is on a country club golf course, so you can look out onto the golf course. And this used to be, maybe I'll show it over on this side. This used to be an enclosed porch. It was a screen porch, which was nice, but I felt like there was enough indoor living space. I wanted more of an outdoor living space, so we took the walls down of that screened-in porch and made it just an open patio, so you could go out there and enjoy the golf course. Oh, another wow factor that we did, if you look at these cabinets up here, turn the light on. If you look at these cabinets up here, it's light out right now, and I have the lights on. Let me at least turn some of these lights off. And what you'll be able to see is that there's LED lights with a remote control here. And we can change the color of the lights. There's purple, there's one over there. Purple, I'm gonna shut down. Let me turn off these lights so you can see a little better. There we go. So you get a feel for it. At night, it's really cool. So there's you can have three different colors of lights if you want. But that's just kind of a neat little thing. It's not that expensive to put in. And you can see I can change the color. You got the green, kind of the light blue, the dark blue. So you've got different wow factors, different features there that people can enjoy if they have a themed party or certain colors that they're trying to use. Okay, come on up here. We'll go to the bedroom. So
Okay, I want to stop it there and take questions. And we've covered a lot, kind of the basic numbers. And we can talk about what I'm running it for, my pricing model right now on Airbnb. Right now, that's the only platform that I advertise. Believe me, I'm plenty busy. It's hectic. Just keeping up with that, all the responses, all the inquiries. So my pricing right now is during the week, it's $400 a night plus $50 per person after the first two people. So you can see if it's 10 people during the week, the first two are covered. So then 8 times 5 would be another 400. So that would be 900. Plus there is a $120 cleaning fee. So they would be paying $1,020. And then I forget what percent it is, the Airbnb fee on my side, on the host side is very small, might be $50 off of that. Now, the person that's booking, the guest, actually, there's a pretty good size fee on their end. But on something like that, I would still net, what did I say, we're at 1,000. I'd probably net about $900 on that type of reservation. That's just for one night. They stay 2 nights, that's $1,800. So the first night I had, it was just one person flying in. He was doing some photo shoots, some work in kind of screen and film. He was meeting with somebody. I've probably turned down at least 20 reservations that wanted it for various parties. So, and I thought I was okay. So the second night, Saturday, there was somebody that wanted it for their daughter's 13th birthday party, and they booked it for 12. And I tried to make it very clear that I charge $50 per person. It doesn't matter if they spend the night or not. If they come to the house, it's $50 per person. Because otherwise, they're going to have 10 people there all the time and say, oh, only 2 are spending the night, only 2 are sleeping over. So I make it very clear, very clear. Well, she said, oh, I didn't know. And when I went to go check the pool about 9:45, there was probably 35 people there at least. So I had to be very diplomatic about it. But I was able to talk to her, and a lot of them were about to leave anyway. Their parents were out in the driveway waiting for them to take them home. So we got it down, maybe not to 12, but I probably got it down to about 15 within about 30 minutes of me being there. And then I had a get together that was about maybe 16 people, maybe. And then other than that, I had this nice family over the weekend. They were here. They checked out today. Oh, wait. Yeah. No, it wasn't over the weekend because they checked out today. And then somebody else, a couple on their anniversary, celebrating their anniversary, drove 3 hours from Wisconsin to stay at my house. The family before that came from St. Louis, Missouri, drove like 3 hours to stay at the house. And I asked them, I said, and both of these guests, I said, so are you coming to town to visit relatives? Are you coming to town to, go downtown Chicago and experience downtown Chicago? They go, no, we're just coming to your house. And it really put a lot of pressure on me. It's like, wow, I got to make this really special for them. They're driving 3 hours to stay at my house. And that's their whole agenda, is to stay at the house. So like last night, there was a couple there, or a family there, a couple with maybe, I think they had 4 kids. And I ended up bringing them over ice cream, when I went over to check on the pool, and bought them a bunch of toys, more toys for the pool. So that's the pricing. Oh, and then on weekends, it's the same way, except it's $600 base price rather than $400. So it's $200 more on the weekends. And I'll play with that pricing model a little bit. With Airbnb, you can check it so that basically the system dictates the price based on the data, based on the availability in the area and what's being rented and how much it's being rented for and so forth. But, they would be very, very low. With their system, I would never get $1,000 a night. Their system may lock me in at maybe have me like $500 or $600 maybe making a night instead of the practically $1,000. So before we walk through the rest of the house, we've covered a lot. So let's pause there and let's open it up. LaShawn, if you want to allow them to take themselves off mute if they would like and ask a question. I'm sure other people may have it. And then let me also look at chat here. There's down here, looks like there might be two things. Oh, Bob Tierney, I can't unmute myself. I wanted to say, wow. Bob, you wanted to do the wow factor. I wanted to say, wow. Okay, but I believe now you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hello, Randy, Reggie.
Hey, Reggie.
Okay, how do you handle that short-term cleaning? You got a lot of business. Are you doing it yourself?
Well, that's a great question. So this all came on so quickly. I mean, I thought, I'll start posting it and, maybe I'll get somebody on the 11th, 12th. So what happened was, boom, I didn't have my cleaning service or anything really set up. So it was me. And, Jay Massey, I think he recommends in his class, I think he has checkout maybe at 10 or 11. And I think he's got a 4 o'clock check-in time. So he's got a few hours there. I really want to give value and people to stay at the house as long as possible. So I have a checkout right now. I've been able to do it. A checkout at 11 and a check-in at 2. That's only 3 hours to clean that whole place. And it was me. It was my son helping me on occasion. And I see Frankie I saw her, she was on earlier. Frankie, who's in the Renatus community, she was helping me on more than one occasions. So it was me doing it. Now, today was the first day that I had a cleaning crew in, that this is all they do really is clean for short-term rentals. To be honest with you, they didn't do a great job. I pointed out some things, took some pictures, things that I found later on that I had to clean. And I just told them, I said, okay, I paid them. And I said, next time I need you to do a more thorough job. And they said, okay. So anyway, yeah. And I paid them. So right now for that house, I'm paying them $120 if there's under 6 guests that have stayed there and are checking out. And that's one night. I'll probably up that if there's 6 guests or less on a couple different nights. But $120 is what I actually charge that is what I charge the guests. So, on my base rate, remember what I said, it's $400 during the week and $600 a night on the weekends. Plus there's a $120 cleaning fee. I mean, I could raise that up a little bit, but overall it's worked out pretty well. And the other thing is just the amount of sheets and the amount of towels. So I know Bob has short-term rentals and other people on the line probably has had them or have them now. Think about towels. Now add a pool to the mix and how many towels. Now, they should be bringing their own towels and I'm encouraging that for the pool. But you know what? When that gets wet, they go in to the bathroom and they grab my towels. So the amount of laundry that has been done in this last week is just kind of incredible. So anyway, I'll get better at it. I've survived and the guests have been extremely happy.
All right. Thanks, Randy.
Yep. Thanks, Reggie, for the question. Appreciate it. Oh, Bob, you're off mute, but I didn't hear anything.
All right. How about now?
Yeah, perfect.
So, wow, what a beautiful house. And it's interesting, the challenges that you're experiencing with your Airbnb. And I mean, obviously people want to have a party there just looking at that pool. Couple of things that I did in my own house was install cameras at every entrance and exit, making sure that there's nobody that could get in or out without my knowing and letting them know that that's a part of the policy. And having a strict no party policy. I love the fact that you charge per person, regardless if they stay the night or not. And that's a strict policy that you will enforce, and that and I let my people know I live close by. I check in on it. It's not something I mess around with. This is the policy. And if you want to have a party, go rent someone else's house. So I love your perspective of that. If I were going to keep this as an Airbnb, I would definitely install another washer and dryer to do you could probably get a couple stackables to do the laundry, because the towels use is going to be off the charts for sure. We actually bring some laundry home. My cleaning company takes some laundry home. We have got extra sets of sheets and towels so that we always have clean stuff in stock. And then we can take our time to do the laundry at our own leisure. But that's definitely one of the experiences that we've had too.
Yeah, and I have multiple sets, but these last couple of days, everybody's just renting it for 1 or 2 nights. So, within a week period of time, we had like 4 turnovers, and it's been tough. And the washer, for some reason, in the house was not working. So that really put a stress on it. But there's actually places for 2 full-size washer and dryers, because there's a washer dryer laundry room right on the main floor. And then there's also the previous owners had their washer and dryer in the basement, in that kind of a storage room area, utility room area. So there's plenty of room for 2 full-size if we were to continue. But with the challenges and the neighbors, and you mentioned about, so I bought, I watched my classes, talked to people at Renatus in preparation. So, I have the cameras, I have the Ring doorbell, I have the noise monitoring system. And this happened so fast. I don't even have them installed. It's like I got all this equipment every time in my car. I'm like, oh, I'll do it now. And I'm like, oh no, I got another guest coming in. It's like, okay, I'll do it after that guest checks out. And then there's another one checking in. There's another one checking in. So I probably have to block off like about a couple days here, just that I know, okay, I'm going to have time to do all the installations.
Another thing I did in my units is I put a 2-night minimum.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to go through all that drama to make $1,000 for a night, and then to have to go through it all again. And my cleaning lady is awesome, and she brings a team, but there's still, I still have to check them in. I still have to check them out. So doing that 2-night minimum creates like a day because they can't book it. So I get like 1 day every few weeks to like get in and fix stuff up and do stuff. So that's just one of the ideas that I'll share.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. In fact, I did that originally. I did the 2-day minimum. And the very first time I had someone coming in, this guy flying in from New York, meeting with like another producer, and he was only going to stay 1 day. He's paying $600, or just one person stayed in my house. He didn't get in until 8 o'clock, and he was out by like 9 o'clock. So yeah, he got in at 8, and he was out by I think he stayed 14 hours or less. And so I know I get it, and I may go back to the 2-night minimum, but at least at the start, I wanted cash flow.
Thank you. Let's make some money.
$100 a night. But because of the whole noise and the neighbors complaining, whenever there's quite a few people there, and I've added some more restrictions. No, all the parking has to be in the parking lot, and the driveway, and the driveway can hold like 8 cars. So it's a real long, big driveway. That's not even without even using the garage. So any other questions before I start? I want to start the video, so we got to walk through of the rest of the house. All right.
Do you charge a different price if it's like children or younger? Like if the parents are with them, or does everybody, no matter how many people stay, are all the same price?
Yeah, right now it's the same price. To be honest with you, I should charge more for children, not less.
Yeah.
It's more of a mess. I had some handprints today on a door, this little girl, and I know she was very sweet, but she left a lot more. It was a lot more work having kids. But asked about a toddler, about a baby, and don't tell me about an infant. I'm not sure if that's up to age 2 or what qualifies as an infant, but there was a baby in one of them that brought, and I didn't charge for them. But yeah, it doesn't matter, age. It's $50 per person. Okay, good question.
Thank you.
Yep. Let me go and let's start back. I'm hoping it doesn't start at the beginning of the year. For some reason, it looks like it might. Share screen. Oh no, we're going upstairs. All right. Look at that expression.
There's 4 bedrooms up here.
You see, I was
Before we
working
get to
that
the first
day.
bedroom, I want to show you the one of the common bathrooms. We just had a plumber do a little work in here, so I'm going to put these down for the guests. We have a guest that's already checked in. They just went to go get something to eat. So my goal is to get out of here with this quick video and be out of here before they come back. So over here, this was original. This was already here, but they had like this ugly blue paint. It didn't even match, so I just went with a paint color that should match. That's a Bluetooth light, so you could play music through your phone. You could play music through the speakers. And then here is a Whirlpool Spa Tub. And originally did not have a shower, but I like the flexibility. If they wanted to use it for a shower, they could. So they have a shower. We installed that light. That wasn't a light fixture there. And you've got the double sink vanity. Let's see, we'll continue on to the bedrooms now. I'm going to at least turn on this light so you can see. Those were original lights. I want to get them to move them up a little higher above the mirror. They haven't done that yet, but I would like them raised up a little bit. So this is the different bedrooms here. So we got it set up, you can see as the short-term rental, very standard. These the furnishings actually came from a Marriott. We've got the flat screen TV over there, the fan, the desk. What's nice about these lamps is that they have the outlets right here. So you have a guest, they're not digging for where the outlets are. You don't need a bunch of extension cords and things like that. So you've got the outlets right there on the lamps. So it makes it very convenient, as well as on the lamp that's on the desk. So this is one bedroom. This is set up the same way. Probably these, this one might be a little bit bigger size, but just go ahead and get a shot of that. Same setup with the desk, the flat screen TV, and set up for the short-term rental. Okay? So this bedroom here on the end is configured a little bit different, and it's a little bit larger, I think, than the other ones. You see a light on there. So that's the remote. So you've got the remote for the fan, and you've got the setup desk TV, same thing, makes it easy. And then, you know what, I'm going to turn that on so they don't get confused when they come back that the light's not working. This is the master bedroom here, and we got a bigger TV in here, and you got the 2 lamps set up. Again, beautiful view of the golf course. So you got a golf course view with through these windows. Got a little chair set up for them. Over here is entering into the master bathroom. This mirror was originally on a vanity over here. I moved the configuration because I wanted a double sink vanity, so I moved that door this way and removed the vanity that was here. But that mirror was long ways, very old-fashioned kind of looking, but now it makes it look a little classy. So I turned it sideways, so now they have a full-length mirror in here and didn't have to buy it. It was the house before we rehabbed it. This is a closet. You can see I've got some things that have just been washed and are a little bit damp. But this is the master closet here, and the master bathroom in here. Again, you even have a view for the golf course from the bathroom. The double sink vanity. You got these LED mirrors that are really cool. You can even have it on like that with just the mirrors, look great, or with these lights on above them. And we've got the shower. We put in that shower. Basically, it's about the same size, but we just made it. Obviously nicer, new tile, and put a custom shower door in there. Okay, let's continue on our journey. All right, we're gonna head down to the main level. All right, right this way. All right, so on this floor, You have the a common bathroom here. This is brand new with a shower. All right. You can see all that's new, that's all been changed. This is what we call the fireplace room. I call the fireplace room. This also has a couch that will, fold out. And you've got the screen, you've got the fireplace, hence the name of this room. Again, views of the golf course. And then an area that people really love, of course, is the pool. So this is an indoor, in-ground swimming pool, 8 foot deep at the end. We're getting a pump set up, so there actually will be a waterfall from that stone is over there. That's where water will be coming down, so you'll have a waterfall there. And there's like a little bench area, like a hot tub area to use. There's a pool room over there. We won't go back there, but it's got another bathroom around those stones. There's another bathroom. So when you get all you're wet, you get out of the pool. You don't have to go into the house. You can just go around and use the bathroom that's in this pool area. Got a little refrigerator out here, and you can see again the great views that you have of the golf course. So the last thing we need to look at is just the basement, and we're done. Come on, follow me. So we'll go down to the basement, and this also has the flat screen TV down here. You can see we've got hardwood floor, hardwood steps coming down. Again, this furniture is set up. It's kind of commercial grade, so it should be easy to clean. We've got an area over here. Extra pillows. I might move up to the master here. I'm going to put in another table. I haven't had it yet here, but behind here would be like another table that would seat maybe 6 people. So if someone wanted the kids or something to be down here in their separate area. The utility room is in here. We won't go in there other than just to tell you that it's 2 furnaces, 2 AC units. In a house this size, you really need a dual system. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that concludes the little walkthrough tour. Let's finish up with questions here. I will see if anything else was in the chat. Doesn't look like it. Let me see here. Any other questions? Take yourself off mute if you have any questions.
Hey Randy, how did you say that you acquired the property? How did you find it?
Yeah, well, this was on the MLS. This was a foreclosure, and the market was a little bit different because we had bought this property over a year ago. So it was a little bit different market, a little less competitive. But I actually take issue when people say, "Oh, you can't find a deal on the MLS." I would say this: you can't find a carpet and paint easy flip on the MLS. It's going to be very difficult because you're competing with homeowners. If you're just going to put carpet and paint and expect to make 50,000, somebody will buy it for that price that you want to resell it for minus the carpet and paint. You're not going to get those deals on the MLS where you're thinking, oh, I just had to switch out cabinets and update the bathrooms. That's probably not going to be the case. However, you can get gut rehabs. I mean, of the gut rehabs that I've done in the last couple of years, I would say, maybe 80% of them were on the MLS, but those are really bad shape properties. It's not for somebody that's just getting started in the fix and flip business. Those are extensive rehabs. So I would say that you can find deals even on the MLS, but only the ones that are in really bad shape. And this one was in pretty bad shape. It doesn't look like it when we walk through, but it had been vacant for a while. They had 2 big, huge dogs. Every room smelled like dogs. It seemed like had to replace quite a bit of the drive. In fact, I think all the whole basement, we might have replaced all the drywall in the basement and so forth. So anyway, this was a foreclosure that was advertised on the MLS. But remember, they wanted like 169 or 168. We were at 162. We thought we lost the deal, and then we ended up getting it for 142. But yeah, especially now in this market, if you want to do a simple fix and flip, it's pretty difficult to find something on the MLS. You have to use like the iOS system. You know, Bob Tierney does that training every week on the iOS. That's a system that you can then solicit and find properties that are off market to people that are potential sellers of properties. So you can do mailings, and I've done that before. You can network with wholesalers and so forth. And that's what's great about the community of Renatus is that, you know, you have wholesalers, you have people that want to specialize in that area, and it's easy to connect with them. I'll tell you something else, and this is key, and I don't want you to miss this. Part of the advantage of being part of a community like Renatus is that not only the knowledge that you will gain, but also the confidence. I am still like so scared to do the Airbnb, the short-term rental. I've done one, but then I instantly sold the house. So it was kind of in the same situation. So I only had that on the market, very short-term rental, very short period of time. I've partnered with someone in Renatus, but basically they run the show. They're doing the management of that, and I'm paying them for that. This was big. This is still scary because it's a new area to me. And here's what's so cool about it is two of the people that I've gotten advice on this, two of the people that I sought to get advice on the short-term rental, both were in my study group where I was the facilitator of the fix and flip, where they became proficient and really dove into short-term rental. One is Dean, and the other one, Jamila. They were in the fix and flip. They were rookies just a couple years ago, and now they've dove into it, and it's actually given me confidence to go ahead and try this and do this and, you know, learn from them. So that's what's great about the community. You know, here you had, you know, a couple people that were in my class, my study group, and they're absorbing every bit of content they can. And then here a couple years later, I'm asking them for advice because they've been doing the short-term rental, and that could happen, you know, to you. You might specialize in one area and now you want to diversify into another. And it's great to have a community that, okay, who in the community is doing that type of strategy or doing that thing in real estate. So that was really great. It was a real blessing that I really saw that full circle with this project.
Thank you, Randy. One more quick question. How long did it take to rehab?
Well, I'll tell you how long it should have taken, and then I'll tell you how long it did take. So this was probably about a 6-month rehab project if done on schedule. My mistake was I hired a contractor that I was very familiar with my rental properties. I had him do this one and another project at the same time, and he was just overwhelmed. Took him way too long. So we've actually been in this house over a year with him working on it. And part of it, I thought, well, I could save some money. I have him do it. He's working on the other one. When he's not busy with that, I'll have him come over there. And it's really just did not work out well. I'm actually not going to be using them anymore for future projects. And I see that sometimes contractors will do well on one. I'll give them the opportunity. Can you do two? Oh, yeah, no problem. I can do two at a time. And then it becomes a disaster. And that's what really happened with this. And I knew it was going to take longer. And I thought because of the savings that we were going to save money, but it's really time so much more valuable than that money. And a lesson that I learned is that, you know, not to try to cut corners and get that cheaper amount done, because it's just going to take too much longer if I'm giving somebody that can't handle it. They're not used to doing two or three projects at a time. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, Randy, I had a question. In the bathrooms, do you use soft close toilet seats in case people have children, you don't want to get mashed fingers?
That is actually a good question, and I never even thought of that. I guess me being not having children anymore, that never even occurred to me. That's a really good idea. Never even occurred to me. So yeah, I'll definitely consider that. I'm glad you said that.
For the record, I do.
Okay, and one other question.
Soft close. I like those. Yeah. For the record.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I know. I have them in my house. house, and if I go to a hotel or something like that, and I'll let it go and then bam. But I had one other question. Because this house is on a golf course, you said that, you have nice views of the golf course and stuff. Do you use one-way glass in the bedrooms and mirrors and bedrooms and bathrooms because of that?
No, we didn't replace. We replaced very few windows. We are going to replace all those sliding glass that you saw along the pool. That's going to cost me about $12,000 to replace those. We are going to replace those. And it's not so much on the privacy end that we're doing that. It's really because of the seal has been broke on that glass. And I know Bob does a lot of restoration of old houses and windows, and if he can give me any advice on those, but I've had a couple people come out there and look at it to see if they can fix it or if they need to be replaced. And right now I'm leaning that they're going to have to be replaced. They told me it's 3 weeks or 5 weeks when they order it. I haven't paid them the first half, but I plan on doing that shortly. But yeah, that would be really nice to have those. They're kind of like tinted where when you look in, you can't really see and you look out. That would be perfect. If I was going to, if this was my dream house and I was building it, I probably would. I don't think the amount of money that I'm going to put in, that I would get that back out. But yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So Bob, I don't know if you want to say something a little bit about the workshop tomorrow for people that haven't been registered or don't know about it.
I do. And first of all, Randy, thank you. Thank you for sharing and being here and supporting our community like you do. I didn't get a chance to introduce you. Everybody, Randy has given his time and his heart and his love to our community for years and years. He has facilitated our fix and flip study group with me for years, and now doing it on his own for years. Over 10 years, we've been supporting people. And, you can watch classes online, you can read books, you can watch videos on YouTube, but there is no substitute for actually being able to spend time with people who have accomplished what you want to accomplish and have created, a real business in this industry. And, when we get out there in the world on YouTube and there's just a lot of BS. There's a lot of people who haven't walked the walk. And Randy, you've walked the walk, and I'm so grateful that you're here and a part of our community. What I'd like to do is we've got 35 instructors in our group, and every single one of them that we learn something different from. Tomorrow happens to be our tax and legal strategist. You had done about 10 deals when you met me, and you were kind of like, well, I'm not sure. Would it be worth it to invest in training or be a part of a community like this? Could you just kind of share, what was your mindset of why you joined us, why you've stuck with us now for all these years? And what are some of the things that you have learned from Mark Kohler and why people should watch tomorrow?
Sure. There's a lot to unpack there. So let me start with, kind of where my mindset, and you described it exactly, Bob. I had done maybe 10 to 15 deals already, flipped a couple properties, bought a couple rentals, was introduced to the community. It's not that I didn't think the education and training was good. I thought that was kind of obvious right from the start. I was impressed with that, but it was just a matter of, hey, do I need to spend the money if I'm already doing it? And I related this story a lot, that I went to one of these workshops like we have tomorrow. Now, it wasn't Mark Kohler. It wasn't tax and legal. It was a fix and flip instructor. And I remember that fix and flip instructor going through kind of his process and his strategy. And I remember thinking, oh, I do it. But then he started talking about ways that he evaluated the deal and evaluating what work, how much money he was going to put into that, and whether or not he'd get the money back out. And I remember thinking, man, had I evaluated that a little bit different, made some better decisions, I probably would have made about $10,000 more on the flip that I had just completed. Well, it doesn't take too many $10,000, shortages to add up to more than enough to cover any type of education that you want. So I thought, I'll dig in. It wasn't so much for the community. I think at that point it was like, hey, the academic part of it, the knowledge part is what I'm going to dig in for. But what I found was the community was just as valuable and probably even more valuable. Like I just case in point, talking about you not only having the knowledge to do a fix or to do a short-term rental, but have the confidence to do that. That came from others in the community and seeing them being successful doing it. So, I jumped in right after that workshop. I think shortly after that, I was all in, took all the classes, bought all the classes, started taking all of it that was available. And Mark Kohler, the person that you have the opportunity to see tomorrow, is just phenomenal. I mean, number one, he's one of the most entertaining presenters I've ever seen. And I was in educational publishing, gone to these big conferences all over the country, thousands of people at these conferences to hear these speakers. And you know what? Mark Kohler rates right up there.
Absolutely.
Your attention, making it fun, learning but learning something and really getting a lot out of it. You don't think that tax and legal could be fun. I mean, it just doesn't sound like that type of content, but it really is. And he just does a phenomenal job. And I've put into play, how to pay your kids, put them on payroll, how to do that when you've got a fix and flip business. And just like I said, the question was when Reggie asked that question about the cleaning the property, like I said, hey, I enrolled my son in doing that. Believe me, he's going to be getting paid. He's getting paid as a business expense, So to be able to do those type of things and learn how to do that, it's really important. And even if you're not going to be a real estate investor, everybody pays taxes. Everybody has to learn the information or should learn the information that Mark's going to unveil and talk about tomorrow. So if you've never heard Mark Kohler, you're in for a treat. You probably never forget that workshop because he's phenomenal.
Awesome. And guys, we're live broadcasting Mark Kohler online. Anybody can attend if you're a guest here tonight. If there's no charge, it's a full day. It's 9 to 5. We do break for lunch and have a couple breaks. If you are in Chicagoland, we have reopened our office. We opened our office in 2007, and that's 10,000 square feet. We have about a 3,000 square foot training facility. And guys, we've been shut down for 16 months. We just had our grand reopening, and we had about 70 people come. And then tomorrow we're going to be, we have 100 in screens. If you'd like to come out, and be our guests, we'd love to have you out in person. And there's something about meeting each other. There's something about looking somebody in the eye and getting to know other people in the community. That networking is so valuable. There isn't a week go by that I don't get somebody in the community that brings a real estate deal or some opportunity. I know, Randy, you've experienced that same thing for yourself. But if you'd like to come out, our office address is 3030 Finley Road, suite number 110. It's in Downers Grove. Our event tomorrow morning starts at 9 o'clock. We are doing a networking potluck lunch. I'm going to be bringing Portillo's tomorrow. We've got a community member who is a blues guitarist for his whole life. He's going to be playing tomorrow. We're going to have some fun. And I'm just feeling like I'm so grateful that things are getting back to normal and that we get to spend some time together. So are you going to do you happen to have the chance to come out tomorrow, or are you too busy?
No, I'm not. I'm going to watch it online. I've already signed up for it, already paid for it. Got a couple guests that's going to be watching it online, but I can't do it live. I actually have to go out to a couple properties tomorrow.
Okay. Well, Randy, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Does anybody else have any other thoughts, any comments, any other questions for either one of us? Oh, somebody asked, how long did the rehab actually take, even with all the problems?
Yeah, so it was over a year, probably 13 months, something like that. We kind of took a break for it for a while, but yeah, it's probably around 13 months.
All right. And because you bought it the way you did, finance it the way you did, have created the cash flow the way that you have, yeah. Right? What is your, what do you think you're going to come out with this particular deal as far as profitability?
Yeah. So I showed the numbers early on as a flip. If we were to sell it at any time, even without this Airbnb short-term rental income, we were still at about $140,000 profit. Minus, let's say 120 to 130 because there'd be marketing costs. Though I'm a licensed broker now, so that a lot of that money's going back to me. But anyway, it's probably over 100. So even with all those challenges, because like Bob, like you said, buying it right and so forth, we're probably still up above 120,000, and that's actually paying. We've got private money lenders. We're paying them off, and they're making some money on that. That's included in the 80 though. So that we've already paid those off. We refinanced. So it was private money and then I refinanced it. That's why when it appraised at 180, that was from paying off those private money lenders. And I have a bridge loan now that's 18 months. So that gave me the ability to try Airbnb, try the short-term rental. If I want to do it, I can do it for 18 months without worrying about financing on it, without paying
Wow.
a higher rate of the short-term rental. Or if I want to just go ahead and sell it, put it on the market, my idea is I probably will put it on the market probably within just the next couple of weeks, and I'll have the price jacked up there pretty good. So, and if I get it, great. And what I did on the Airbnb site, by the way, I'm only taking reservations. I'm only allowing them to book about 45 days in advance. I'm not doing anything down there with the idea that, hey, if I get an offer and they want to close quickly, I don't want my renter, the commitments to host that to interrupt, the sale of that property.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And, if you look at the furniture, even though I thought it looked great unfurnished, it still looks better furnished. Most of the times I'm not staging my properties. I'm doing what's called light staging. It's not furniture. It's just like towels and things like that, little items, flowers and that kind of stuff. But it really looks better when it's fully furnished like that. And I think it will sell very quickly when we do have it on the market for a good price.
So I think the moral of the story for everybody listening is learn the strategies of how to acquire properties at discounts, how to finance properties without, putting yourself into a dangerous situation. And even if you screw up a deal or have a contractor that isn't perfect or a property takes longer, you still make $100,000 on the deal. And I think there's really a lot of moral to that story. A lot of people get into real estate and try to make $20,000 or $30,000 on a deal because that's what they think is a lot of money because they've only made $50,000 or $80,000 a year. And the truth is that once you learn the strategies, you can learn how to make $80,000, $100,000 profits on deals. It takes the same time and the effort and the energy. It's just a different way that we look at properties, buy them, finance them, and, get the deals done. So anyway, this was awesome. And Patrick asks, tomorrow's presentation is free. Yes. So if you're a guest, if you're not a member of the community already, then you can come to our office for free or get an online ticket for free. All you got to do is ask the person that invited you here to provide that information for you. And Synodos just said, I just graduated high school. I'm interested in real estate. What do you think is the first step? You know what? I want to acknowledge you. Right? When you graduated high school, Randy, were you getting on seminars about how to make money in real estate? I'm 51. If I could change one thing, I wish I was graduating high school this year and getting on this webinar with you. But you're in the right place. So whoever invited you here, come and take advantage of as much as the free stuff as you can. And if you're not 18, as soon as you turn 18, get involved in our real estate investment education and just take it seriously. I learned more about how to make money investing $20,000 into a real estate training curriculum in 1 year than I did in 5 years at a traditional college, spending $120,000 on a traditional education. And so, you can learn how to be an entrepreneur real estate investor. And with the resources that we have today, the online trainings, the workshops, the networking, the Zoom meetings, you can accomplish a lot compared to when we were coming up. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, the advice, get back with the person that invited you, onto this meeting, and they can get you set up for the next step, which is probably going to be go and watch Mark Kohler, in person or online. So, all right. I think that's it. We'll wrap it up. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me on a Friday night. Hopefully you got something out of it and you enjoyed it as much as we did. And good luck to you in your real estate endeavors. And talk to you again. May God bless you and your family. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Randy.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Mr. Woods, the workshops are $50. You can register for them in your Helios $50 and you can bring as many guests as you'd want. And that's what it costs if you are a